In the third game of this series, Saturday afternoon in New York, you'll recall the temperature was 43 degrees. It was almost cold enough to snow. Now, Tuesday, twilight in Los Angeles. The temperature today in L.A. up into the high 80s. Right now, it's about 84 degrees. Dodger Stadium filling to capacity for Game 6 of the National League Championship Series as the Mets take on the Dodgers, and the Dodgers try to win the pennant for the first time since 1981. I'm Al Michaels, and welcome to Game 6. And tonight it's Tim Leary on the mound for the Dodgers, David Cone for the Mets. And we start by telling you Kirk Gibson injured yesterday, took a shot of cortisone yesterday, took batting practice tonight. He is in the lineup for the Dodgers in the number 3 spot in left field. Just about 48 hours ago, the New York Mets were 3 outs away from going up 3-1. And I'm not sure the Dodgers could have rebounded on Monday from that sort of deficit. Instead, Mike Scioscia hit a home run, and that is the fulcrum in this series right now. Gibson won that game with a home run past midnight. Dodgers win yesterday, and now it's the Mets who come to town having to win 2 games to keep their season alive. The New York Mets, of course, are trying to win the pennant for the first time in 2 years, and the Dodgers are trying to win it for the first time in 7 seasons. And the World Series opens Saturday against the Oakland A's. Very laid back through the years, is very pumped up right now for Game 6 of the National League Championship Series. Dodger Stadium in the twilight from above as we prepare now for the 6th game of the National League Championship Series. As we mentioned at the top of the telecast, there was some question as to Kirk Gibson. Yesterday, he was forced to leave the game, re-injuring his hamstring. There he is live. We mentioned that he is in the starting lineup for the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight in the number 3 spot in the batting order and playing left field.
Loaded, 1 out, no score, top of the 1st inning. And so the Mets have a golden chance to do exactly what Keith Hernandez said they needed to do at the beginning of the telecast. Get off to a quick start with a couple of runs, and that will have a double effect here. It will take the crowd out of the game, at least for the moment, because if Leary gets out of this jam, the crowd will very much be in the game. And it's hit high in the air to right field, deep enough to score a run. Marshall comes to the line and makes the catch. Dykstra on his way home, and he scores on a sacrifice fly. The other runners hold. So McReynolds with a fly ball to Marshall, and for the first time in this series, the Mets break out on top. 1-0 New York with 2 out now. Runners at first and second, and Greg Chip 2 out and 2 on. Elster comes to the plate.
From a psychological standpoint, it makes a little sense. You don't like to intentionally walk a base runner into scoring position. That's what you'd be doing if you walked him intentionally here.
And he lines one to the gap in left center. Shelby races over, can't make the play. Strawberry scores. McReynolds will be held as Griffin cuts the throw off on a double by Elster. So 2-0 to the number 8 hitter. And Tim just talking about the fact you really don't want to walk him in that particular situation because you're putting the extra man in scoring position. But Leary down the middle on a 2-0 pitch, and the Mets take advantage and lead it by a score of 2-0.
And the Mets are probably glad that the hit and run didn't work. If McReynolds, say Carter hits an anemic ground ball back to the pitcher, well, Leary's plays to first base, you got second and third, and most certainly you walk Elster. But not in this situation.
Heat of an emotional ball game.
But still, in the playoffs, you don't find, the masses as forgiving, I think, as the 2 towns have been.
McReynolds doesn't find that pitch forgiving as he drills it to deep left center field and gone. And it was almost inevitable because Leary's been on a tightrope in each inning, and he begins the 5th by walking Strawberry, and McReynolds hits a 2-run homer to make it 4-0.
McReynolds looking inside. If you remember the last time up, Leary jammed him with the fastball inside. The Dodgers have been pitching McReynolds inside, and this time he goes up and looks for one pitch in one area, and again, this is after 4 balls to Strawberry.
Again, trying to establish a strike and really reestablish your confidence. As you can see, Tommy Not very happy.
Have to throw a strike, and that's what Cone did then.
Grounded to the right side. It's a base hit. Holton is being waved in. Here comes Strawberry's throw home, and Holton is safe.
Strawberry, very tentative. I mean, when a pitcher, a long reliever, who has had his first hit all year, scores that easily, then you're playing a tentative right field. Darrell had 2 assists all season long. Both were on throws to first base. That ball was hit sharply to right field. If it can't be any closer than that, then you have to think that Strawberry was too deep to begin with, or he didn't charge the ball.
And this is away. It's in the air to shallow left center and dropping for a base hit. Dykstra comes in to score on a soft single by Hernandez. And it's 5-1 Mets.
Well, that's the aggressive baseball. Dykstra stretches a single into a double. Hernandez does what he does best. Fights off pitches until he gets one he can hit. Did hit it hard right on the end of the bat for a base hit. I'll tell you, they called it. Picked up the LA Times this morning. They said we're going to have to be more aggressive. 200 at about 197.
Franklin Stubbs on deck if Davis keeps the inning alive. 2-1. And if Davis keeps the inning alive, Stubbs is pretty much an all-or-nothing hitter, certainly capable of jacking one out.
Well, 2 pinch hit home runs this year already, so of course he will not be hitting off of Dave Cone.
Not at all.
Nope.
Fly ball left field. Here comes McReynolds, and tomorrow night these 2 teams play 1 game for the pennant. And Tommy Lasorda sends his Bulldog, Hershiser, to the mound, and Davy Johnson counters with the Yaley Ron Darling. Tomorrow night at 8 Eastern Time. David Cone, a shaky start in the first, a little wobble in the 5th, another tiny wobble here in the 9th, but goes all the way. Looking anything but a 20-game winner in Game 2 and looking very much like a man who won 20 in Game 6.
Strawberry Cone.
Absolutely. As the Mets head for dessert.